Good afternoon, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. So this is what we are now calling the Feeding Frenzy Report. That's right, it's my midday report, and we're going to get rain for the next couple of days. So it's actually beginning to rain a little bit, but I never let rain on my parade. I got a few new friends. Here we go. Look at these guys. 3 butterflies in there. And it's funny because you see how small those guys are. They will grow quite a bit in this one season. I like this guy right here. I think I'm going to call him Dogface. He's got kind of a dog face there. And then I've got these 2 guys right here. And I've actually had them in the pond here for about 30 minutes getting the temperatures to kind of coordinate, although koi, the temperatures don't really bother them to change too much because they stay out here all winter long. So let me go ahead and put these guys in here real quick. Say hello to your new friend. Come on, guys. There you go. All right. That's 2 of them added. Let's get these guys in there. Now these aren't real expensive koi. Like if you went to a regular koi shop that are imported from Japan and things, these are actually from Petco. But when I go there and have to get pet food and things like that, I try and look for some ones that are a little bit different and things. So that way they have some different markings and stuff on it. So that way you can kind of, get some different looks and stuff on there. Because they can get rather expensive. You're talking about some of the shellfish. They can be thousands of dollars, and I ain't got that in my budget. So they all swim around. They like me and everything else. So they're my ghetto koi, and I'm okay with that. They low budget like me. Speaking of low budget, last night I was on Bad Dog's channel with Philly.500, Ed Oliver, and Philly.500. I don't know if you guys have noticed how arrogant the Eagle fans have been. Now, I understand. They finally got that Super Bowl win. They finally got that first Super Bowl. And, they've had all of those years where they're watching everybody else get it. So I can understand why they're arrogant and things. But I got to tell you, you guys need to slow your roll. The way they act right now, you would have thought they won the Super Bowl last year, not several years before. Yes, you won the division. Yes, you split the games with us, with the Cowboys, right? We're 1-1 against each other, and you get the last laugh. I get that, but you can't honestly look at the season and say it was a great, incredible season. Your quarterback went out in the first quarter in the playoffs. You brought back D-Jax, who was out all season. Your claim to fame is that our practice squad guys played a really good game and got us into the playoffs. But let's be honest here. You're far from being one of the best teams in the division. And you've got to look at this whole thing where you're blaming, we didn't have these guys. We had injuries. Well, you got to look at the guys that you bring in that are getting injured. We lose people, it's like, man up, play with who you got. You guys, you keep looking at it to blame. But see, here's the thing, Philly. Here's what's interesting, because you guys have a ticking time bomb right now. And I don't know if you guys even noticed this or not. They've been talking so much about the Dallas Cowboys and why we can't pay Dak Prescott because we could be headed for cap hell. You pay a quarterback, you can't win. I understand that argument. That makes sense. But you look at the Cowboys where we have already locked up our running back. Now, hopefully he's able to play for another good 3 or 4 years, and getting CeeDee Lamb in there will help that situation because the more you can spread the ball around and not have to focus on just trying to say, we're going to run Zeke Elliott every play, the longer his career will be prolonged. And if you can stretch the field so you don't have 8 men in the box because you're worried about Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup and CeeDee Lamb and Blake Jarwin, if you're looking at 6-man fronts or 7-man fronts, then you're not taking as much abuse. And see, that's a good thing for Zeke Elliott. But there's no guarantee with running backs. We know after the 4th year, they tend to start going downhill. But we've gotten our offensive line is locked up. And we have young people that are in there, and like Connor McGovern and things. You've got Jalen Smith locked up, and you've got Van Der Esch, you still have a couple of years, another young guy. You've got veteran players like Gerald McCoy and Dontari Poe, but yet you've got now Tristan Hill as well as Gallimore. So you have a rotation of people. See, here's what's interesting. Eagles, as you just lost Brandon Brooks, one of the best guards of football. And again, you're already screaming that, we got no luck in injuries. Well, shit happens. You gotta deal with it. You gotta man up. That's what you tell us. When you look at next year's salary cap, because we're already looking at the possibility of the salary cap maybe going down. The NFL, the NFLPA are trying to deal with this situation. But as we look at it right now, hypothetically, if the salary cap is the same as what it is right now this year, the Dallas Cowboys will have about $36 million in cap space. Now, if you sign Dak Prescott to a long-term deal, then that number will be reduced, because somewhere in there you'll probably have about a $25 to $30 million cap hit. So that would only leave you with about $10, $11 million of cap space, assuming that the cap doesn't go down. But here's an interesting one. Armageddon for the Eagles, that ticking time bomb I was talking about. Hey, Philly, do you know that next year you guys are almost $51 million in the red? $51 million in the red. That's if the salary cap stays the same. If the NFL and the NFLPA don't work out something where that salary cap goes down, because the revenues will go down. It may be a shortened season, in which case that's even more money that's down. They've got that baked into the equation, that they need to shorten the season. They have ways of shortening it. We already know that Texas is blowing up right now with coronavirus and thing. We know Zeke Elliott already has it. We know that the NBA is trying to go to Orlando, and we're finding out that the Orlando airport's got people that are, testing positive for corona too. So you've got NBA players that are looking at being locked down in Orlando, and we're not talking about locking down the NFL. It's going to be difficult. And if per se happens what they say might happen, what's the possibility of a 30, 40, or even $50 million drop in the salary cap, and you're already $50 million over, you're going to have to gut the team. You will have to play practice squad players. I don't know if you realize that one or not. Take a look at, say, the Rams, their situation. Look at how many players they had to jettison. And they still have to pay Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey, they traded 2 number ones for, which they didn't have a number 1 pick this year. They don't have one next year, and they still have to pay that guy. And they have holes throughout the team. Philly, that's you guys. You're next, buddy. Hate to tell you that, Philly. But it's amazing, though, because, see, you're one of the happiest people I know. That no matter what happens, you always turn that frown upside down, and you find a way to tell us how it's the greatest thing to ever happen. I'm waiting to hear how you're going to tell us that Brandon Brooks rupturing his Achilles is actually going to be a good thing for you, because that's the kind of thing that you do, Philly. So tell me, Philly, what great thing is going to come about you being $51 million already over for next year, buddy? Go ahead. I want to hear that answer. All right, I'm going to try something new today. I actually got the sticks. I can hold the sticks, see if I can get them to actually just take it right out of my hand, as opposed to just grabbing the dots. So I'm going to put like one piece of food out there and see if they get it. We're trying to teach them. Hey, guys. Come to Papa. Come on. Come on and say hi. Hey. I love this. Can you, hold on. Let me move the camera just a little bit here so you guys can see a little better. See my babies? Okay. Come here, guys. Come on. Say hi. Say hi. Come on. Look at you, little guy. Look at that. There. Oh, you can't see it. He's literally in my hand. Yeah, look at that. Oh. They literally have no fear of being picked up out of the water. Look at that. Okay. All right, guys. Who's going to come take that piece of food? Come on. Come on. Here it is, right here. There you go. I'm going to train them to actually come up out of the water to take the food. Come on. There, oh, there you go. Here you go. Come on, come on, come on. Come on. No, it's not my finger. There. Oh, there you go. Here it is, guys. Here it is. Come on. Come on. It's really close. One of you big guys. You can do it. Oh, dropped it. Man. Come on now. So close. So close. They need to be a little longer. Come on. Come. Ah, you got it. There you go. There you go. Come on. Come on. Come on. You guys are crazy. You're crazy. There you go. Look at it. So beautiful. So beautiful. All right, here you go. Well, time to go back to work. Hope you enjoyed this feeding frenzy. Philly, what you gonna do, brother? What you gonna do, brother, when the bill collector comes for you, Philly? The bill collector are coming for you because the bills are coming due. Ha 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 ha.